Hey boo, hey, how you be? Come on in and talk with me. Bring a friend or bring three. Like the video, for you it's free. Drop a crown and where you from. The queen is here. Let's start the show. Where we gonna end? Nobody know. Now here we go. Here we go. Let's start the show. Ow. Welcome, 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 confessors. Come on in. Press that thumbs up, drop a crown, and speak if you're not a hater or a lurker. We are nothing but good vibes and good times up in here. We accept all opinions and points of views respectfully. Let's get it cracking. Hey boo things. How you be? What's going on? What is going on? It is Saturday, right? Yes. Yes, it is. It is Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. And we still here. So we are going to talk about the Marques interview that he had with Queen Sheba. Shout out to Queen Sheba. And we're going to discuss our thoughts on that as a whole real quick because there was a couple of interesting things and I have a couple of thoughts on some things. So let's get into that. So let me bring up my baby.
What's
Hey,
up? What's
hey,
up? What's up?
what's up, baby? Looking good and shit.
You
Look at
know,
that. Yeah.
birthday turn up loading. Birthday turn up loading.
Okay, in load, honey, in load. Mysterious Frog, hey boo, hey. Man, this interview, after I have watched both parts, I will say, just as you said, Marques is quite the character.
Quite the
He,
character.
he will definitely give us something to watch next season while Melody has gone bye-bye. He brung up a lot of things. A lot of things. Now, shout out to Queen Sheba. She gave an excellent interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so shout out to her for that, because if it were for her getting him in that seat, we wouldn't have so many things that we don't found out.
Girl,
So
I watched it, but like I said, I was getting my hair done. So you just take the lead, and when you throw the topic out there, then I just give my opinion on it.
absolutely. So one thing for sure, Marquez came with receipts. He
Mm-hmm.
came with receipts like no other. And upon these receipts, he said that these receipts we gonna see come up in this
A few
this
months.
new season. So he says that he definitely is a real one, and he had to ask: is we doing this reality TV thing, or is we doing this real life thing?
Mm-hmm.
So Mark, and so he's definitely in it to win it. We know that he is part of the new season and all that. So as a whole, after seeing both parts, do you whose side would you be looking at with the side eye more? Are you
Well,
still looking at them both the same, or one more or equally now?
I'm side eyeing both of them, to be honest. And here's the deal. So I'm side eyeing Trish and Ken because they was trying to make it seem like he was this deadbeat. But then we see at the end, Ken was throwing out all the money. And then when you hear whatever allegedly, not allegedly, I don't know, Marquez saying about his childhood and how he can't have no kids and how he's too invested in his kids or being a father. It was more like he was more concerned about that than being with Trish. Not that he's done anything to the kids. He's just, probably looking for the Father of the Year award because he can't have kids of his own. Kind of like, how women or couples that can't have kids over adopt or foster
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Um, but something to that effect. So that was kind of like, okay, what's the real deal? But I understand where he was coming from when he was talking about if you dating somebody for a year, it's got to be serious before they meet your kids. Because I too get attached to kids easily, and so I feel him on that. Because if we not gonna be serious, don't bring your kids around me, because then I'm gonna be trying to date your kids and y'all know what I mean when I say that, not like that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, yeah, I don't want to see you, but can you send the kids out so we can go to the zoo and go get some ice cream or go to the game or the park, or like you ain't even got to come outside. Just send the kids outside and
Right.
guard, so nobody
Mhm.
wants to be in that position, especially because kids get attached easily too. You know, if you're around and you're stable and you're good for the environment. So it was quite eye opening, his take on Ken's role, and his what he felt like Ken's vision of life was, or whatever. But the craziest part to me was when he was talking all about Trisha's mannerisms and the flirting and the belittling,
Yo,
and
that took me out.
not BB said, Harpo, who this woman? Girl, I'm getting ready
Ain't
for my
she?
birthday.
She in
It's
birthday ready, honey.
4 days until my birthday. So I'm getting ready. But yeah, so I was interested the way that he would flirt, the way she would belittle him, emasculate him, put other people in front of him, had him bringing um movie tickets out to her work boo.
That
Um,
was really weird. Thank you, Mysterious Frog. That
thank
was
you.
really
Thank you.
weird. Can we talk
Mhm.
about that for a minute? Because who does that first and foremost? Like, girl, what type of girl are you to be
And
this
I mean, he
type of
did say
shit?
he don't know, he didn't think that they did anything, but there was a lot of inappropriate text messages. So the fact that she's like maybe she didn't know he's seen the text messages. So when he goes outside to take the tickets out there and it's that dude, I feel him though, because he probably ain't want to go ballistic and lose his job. Especially not knowing 100% sure, how far to the line they had went or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So for me, yeah, I was just kind of like, and the fact that he admitted that he was pee whipped too,
He kept it real. I will say
he
that.
did
I
keep it
feel he
real.
did keep it real. He did keep it real. But on the other hand, one thing that did stand out to me, but I get it still, but it just stood out to me when because it looks like just like Mel, he has a lot of ideas and business ventures and a lot of brands and a lot of this and a lot of that he's trying to do. And he did admit the fact that, he knew he was coming on the show. So, he started to put things in motion to set up for something that he could have to put out there when he got on the platform. And what do you say to that? Do you feel that
Here's the thing. A lot of us was thinking like this is some deadbeat man that barely kept a job once he got out of high school or college or whatever, or did he even go to college? Which he let us know that when he was entering into Alabama A&M, Martell was
going
graduating,
out? Yep.
and also his lineage of his family, the fact that even though his mom and daddy wasn't married, all the stuff that his daddy did and being people's road managers, he kind of assumed that his daddy was just on the road all the time, and it took him forever to realize that they wasn't married. He was just thought they was gone, but he would called and he checked in and pulled up and all that. So he did see a good father role model, but didn't even know his parents wasn't married.
Right.
So, but I mean, and I'm not saying that a person like his father can't have deadbeat kids, because you could look at Orange Toddler's kids. But anyways, what I'm saying is they made it seem like he was just some street hood man that she was with since high school. Like the way they painted him, like he didn't have any good lineage, he didn't have any good
Like nothing.
background. Like I'm not saying that his people had money or nothing like that, but I'm just saying his dad did accomplish a lot. So there may have been some work ethic, even if there was no money, work ethic, a little bit of arrogance. My daddy did X, Y. So it's kind of like the way they portrayed him and his actual family background does not add up to me. And then just talking about all the lying, like who goes down to the courthouse and files divorce papers and say we have no minor children? Do you not understand what the word minor means? Because you have a child that was 10 that's now 11 going on 12 now.
Yeah.
So
she tried to pull one.
So
they tried to pull one.
Right.
I wonder about that, because the fact that Ken don't and can't have any children, I'm wondering if she was trying to push him out of the kids' lives, so Ken could step up and be more of a father figure, or feel that he was the primary.
Not only primary, the only. Because what people don't fail to realize, that I've worked with a lot of people, and if this is going on in your city, there's like all kinds of dads advocate programs. Because what happens is a lot of men, they make decent money but not enough to afford an attorney, and then you got to pay your attorney $300-$400 an hour. You got to pay them when they pick up the phone. So a lot of men get discouraged and they give up fighting for custody and or visitation of their kids. And since they're portraying him to be this broke deadbeat, I think she was trying to drag it out to where he would just give up. And since at the time their son is old enough, so he don't count, but the younger girl, the way she was like, don't be coming up here acting stupid or I'ma block you, and she not wanting to speak to him or whatever, then they could go to the court and ask him to give up his rights, or drag this out until she's 18 and he don't have the money to pay. So a lot of men just be like, you know what? I'll wait till my kid turns 18 and she comes look for me, and then I'll tell her what really went down. So I think a lot of women who don't want to deal with the man for whatever reasons choose to take that route. But the most beautiful thing I think he said is her hating him more than she loves her kids. And I saw that on a meme long time ago. It says, one day you're going to have to explain to your kids why you hated their other parent more than you love them. And I've never, now they grown. My kids is grown. They all 25 and up. If they daddy get to act stupid, we talk about it and we laugh and we shoot shots and all that kind of at the situation. But when they were younger, they'd be like, oh, my daddy didn't call me today. He says, well, I said, girl, he probably at work, he busy or whatever. Let me call, grandma or his mama and see if she can, make him hurry up and call before y'all go to bed, blah, 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 whatever. But when they was little, I never walked around saying he ain't this and he ain't that. And I'm like, look, there are a lot of men out there that are better fathers than they were boyfriends, husbands, partners. So whatever relationship they have with them is not the same relationship he has with me. So I'm not going to project that onto them.
No. I found one part interesting is when Ken kept saying, we've given you money. I've given your child money to come see you, giving them my car to come see you, all this other stuff. But then on the back end, Marques made a good point when he said, look, as long as I've been around, I've always been around some way, somehow. My children have never wanted for nothing. Before Ken came into the picture, after Ken came into the picture, nothing. Ken has maybe added some accessories as far as a trip or some Jordans and think that he doing something. And it goes to show, because that is all he did, was kept picking out the money. Anytime that there is an argument, it always do come back to the money for Ken.
And he said, that if they kids needed something, because his son was so much older, he would send money to his son or he would send money to the daughter. Like he's not sending money to Trish, which I feel like documented, always
Definitely.
documented, so you can have that for court. But
But I'm sure if he didn't know by then, he know now. I'm sure Mel done
right,
put him
for
up on
sure.
game for that.
The way he was coming with the receipts, I think he's been keeping receipts since they got married. Okay. Um, but I think once your kids get to a certain age, and I know a lot of women gonna be like, bitch, what? Like, if you're working and if both parents are working, then like the money should go into an account for the kids. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Now, if it's one of
Mm-hmm.
them situations where it's accustomed to the lifestyle, then yeah, okay, you put the money in the account to pay the mortgage and the car payments and this is that and the third. But if there's a need beyond child support, I think both parents should pay half. Now, if one parent makes a considerable amount more money than the other, then y'all have some type of arrangement. But what I don't like is, and I've seen it in the nail salons, hair salons, a woman comes in there dressed to the nines, getting her hair and nails done, paying top dollar, and she's got her kids with her, and they look like they about to be on a for 59 cents a day you could feed me commercial. And she all up in there on the phone bragging about how much child support she got and going to the club. And that's not, it's called child support, not lifestyle support for you to be out in the streets looking for your next victim. I don't like that.
No, I don't either. It is done like that a lot. You see that way too much, and it's very, very common.
Mhm.
So it was quite funny that this whole entire season was about this whole Martell Trish situation, all that stuff. But it was crazy when Marquez let it be known that, that wasn't even what was supposed to be really happening. But Martell and Trish was acting so goddamn weird that the production picked up on
And
it and
Stormy,
rolled with it.
right, and Stormy picked up on it too, because I mean, and look here, we all know that everybody has a tendency to be messy on this show, right? So I'm not saying she was intentionally being messy, but you know how they cut, and then she be like, "Why y'all acting weird? Do y'all know
That
it?
was a legitimate
I've
question,
got
though.
some weird energy going on," and then production's like, "Did Stormy just say what I think she said? Oh, let's run this back." And then because when we saw, they like zoomed in on the weirdness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, if y'all both know that y'all was about to be on this show, y'all should have met at a coffee shop. You know what I'm saying? Discuss what y'all was gonna say and do or whatever. And then when they met at Stormy's, she could have been like, "Oh yeah, you are Tez's brother. I went to school the same year with him or something. I've heard a
Mhm.
lot about you. It's nice to finally meet you in
I wonder
person."
if she even know the brother for real now.
No, because he said that Marquez said that him, Martez and Trish were in the same class
Oh, okay.
or around the same age or something. They went to school at the same time because he said
So
that
Trish must be a little. So
because he
I
said
wonder
he
what
was
school
in.
did
Okay,
Trish
listen.
go to? Because she didn't go to
Okay,
school over
I'm
there.
gonna break it down for you because I'm coming with the receipts. Okay, he said that he was in the 10th grade and she was in the 9th grade when he finally noticed her that day she came to the office tripping with the secretary
Oh, that's
prom.
right. Yeah.
And then he said, so let's do the math. In his freshman year, Martell was a senior. Okay. And so Trish hadn't got there yet. So now we
Yeah.
go.
So she never was in the same school
Right,
with Martell at all.
right.
So they
So,
definitely never
so
met
his brother
school.
Martez and her were in the same grade level.
Hey,
And they
Phyllis.
all went to Butler High School. Because baby, I was paying attention. Okay. So they was all going to Butler High School. And so he's like a year or so older than her. And so yeah, that's how that went down. So that's why I'm saying, had her and Martell was like, fuck, we about to be on the same show. Did we fuck? Do we not fuck? Do we know each other? Do we not know each other? What are we going on here? And had they had a couple conversations and met before, then the nervousness and the weirdness wouldn't have been so apparent, because it'd have been like, oh, I just seen him last week. What's up?
Mm-hmm. But I wonder if Martell wanted it. And I wouldn't be, I ain't mad at him if he did, because I know he wanted something different for his storyline. But I hate the fact
it's
of how
still
far
labeling him as a whoremonger, a womanizer.
Yeah, he let it go too far.
It didn't stray too far from, you know what I'm saying? It did. You know how, like, when you look on a map, it says you can go this way or you can go this way, and it's 2 minutes less, but it's basically running parallel to the other way. That's 2 minutes more. Like, that's about how much he strayed from the storyline. It's still putting you as a womanizer. It's still putting you out there as a cheating on your wife with somebody else besides coleslaw. Is, I mean, you know, it just hair split, like, you know, like the veins on your hand. It just split off a little bit. It didn't go that far. So, I mean, that's what he wants to be labeled as. But
something, though, it can go anywhere, though, and that's the thing.
Here's my thing with Martell. You would think you would want to clean up your act for a number of reasons. One being your children. And besides the fact that you handsome, a woman is not going to take you serious. I had a friend back in the day, and to this day, I'll be like, he's for a good time, not a long time. I know a lot of men say that about women. They enjoy their company, but they're not the mothering type. They're not the wife type, but they're a good individual, just not for certain things. And so I feel like Martell is for a good time, not a long time. I can imagine, you know, he's funny, he's witty, he's charismatic, he's handsome. He may or may not have the big D energy in the bedroom. I don't know. Never been there, not trying to go. But after all that's been on this show, what woman would really take you seriously? Unless you like gone through the therapy, done the work, you know, you self-professed, you want to get out the streets and really mean it. What woman would take you serious? Because if I was in Huntsville and I just happened to run across Martell at the bookstore or the coffee shop, and he was like, excuse me, miss, can I take you out? I would be like, for what?
True. But then on another hand, on the other side, a woman who is also very beautiful and, you know, secure within her may be like, well, shit, she should want to take me out. I'm that girl.
And
so
I'm not saying
take them seriously.
But what I'm saying is, anybody, I don't care if you was Tiana Taylor or Riri or, you know, anybody of that stature, even if you just a Huntsville celebrity, if a man, like, I don't care whether I'm high or low or whatever. I could be a bargain basement homeless woman. Why are you trying to talk to me? Because clearly you don't know how to keep your dick in your pants. So, and if
ugly niggas don't either, though.
I know, but what I'm saying is, but see, this is one that comes with a warning label. Remember when we talked about warning labels? This dude is subject to fuck up your credit. This dude is a cheater. This dude is a narcissist. He's got his warning label that the FDA has not removed. So what I'm saying, because he's got these similar storylines season after season after season, then it would make walking up to a woman and proving to her that I'm this newfound man, that I'm not a cheater anymore, I'm not a womanizer, I'm not a whoremonger, I'm not this. It would take so much convincing to an intelligent woman that he's not still for the streets. And in Philip's family, I do agree with that statement. Are there any men left that you could take seriously? And the answer is probably not. But most of them don't come with a warning label. So you got to give them that little 30 to 90 day probationary period to see if they're full of shit or not. But with Martell, I'm not wasting 30 or 45 days for me to prove that you ain't shit when I didn't saw 7, 8, however many years of love and marriage Huntsville that you ain't shit.
Right. When Marques said that Ken is a simp, he's just looking for a place to stay. What do you make of that? Because if he is just looking for a place to stay, how is it that he's able to, take care of the house, take care of this, take care of that. And it would seem like it would have to be one or the other, or doesn't.
No,
So,
not
because how can
necessarily.
he want a place to stay but still be able to maintain it? Explain that to me, how that can
Okay,
work.
because of Ken's criminal history, that he may not be able to rent in certain areas. For example, there
Oh, yeah.
is a place in Georgia, right, like north something of Atlanta, called Sewanee. And in Sewanee, it is mandatory that all homeowners, not leasees, all homeowners must be in the possession of a firearm to protect themselves. However, if you are a felon, you cannot be in the possession of a firearm, right?
Right.
So that helps the city of Sewanee weed out felons from their area, right? So I don't know how many other cities or counties may do this, but there are certain communities, if you go to apply for an apartment or you got to do your HOA application or whatever, have you ever been convicted of a felony? And usually crimes that involve drugs, guns, or any type of, SA or RA, whatever. It's an immediate no. They don't want you living in their neighborhood or whatever. So, and it could be credit, because there's a lot of people that have money with bad credit.
Right.
Because they messed up their credit and then they just came into some money with a better job, and they waiting 7 years for it to fall off, or they file bankruptcy or whatever the case is. So it's a lot of people out here that have money but are not financially responsible, and they have very low credit scores. Also, if you've had multiple evictions, Huntsville, I'm assuming, is small, but most cities have like a little realtor thing. So when you go to get an apartment or something like that, or a mortgage or whatever, it's like a separate credit score that comes back for the evictions and rental history and so forth. So then it's almost like your credit's being ran twice, because they're running your credit score, through Experience, TransUnion, and what's the other one? Experience, TransUnion, Equifax. But there's also like a credit score system that comes back for your rental history. So yeah. So there's a number of reasons why he could be like, he need a place to stay if he can't physically rent on his own. Says,
Right.
let Phyllis say, I don't know that that's not a bad idea.
All right. So when he said that Marceau, it's crazy because
boy,
he said nobody in there had anything good from the cast. And he went in on Marceau and said if Marceau would not have said off camera what he had said to him on camera, he said that Marceau is not ready to let go of his comfortable marriage. But Marceau acts like a single man. It's like, how many people can come in and actually say something about Marceau and, and not take it seriously? Do you think he should take Marques seriously, since he is a new cast member coming in? Do you think
he used to work with Marceau
at face value?
He used to work with Marceau when he was the manager at the movie theater.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. Why is it that nobody on the cast has anything nice to say about Marceau but his wife?
It says a lot. Yes, they now running through a system rather than skating mainly in most places. Exactly. That's the whole point. It seems that, I don't know, could Tisha possibly be just as comfortable as he comfortable? Maybe they both comfortable at this point. Maybe that time when they had their little rough spot, they sat down and was like, fuck it, let's just ride this out. You do what you do, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. At some point, can marriages at some point just be like, you know what, fuck it. We're going to stay together, but you do you. You know, we're going to keep this for the kids. You know, the kid's still young and all that. But it just says a lot that Marques has something to say about Marceau as well, as far as he has known him and all of that. So I wonder how Tish feels about what he has to say. And I wonder why Carlos didn't ask her that. That's what I'm upset about. I'm upset that he did. Well, that wasn't asked. I'm mad that he didn't ask. Carlos didn't ask him anything like that at the reunion, how he felt about that. It was all about him, Trish, and Ken. But still, it just showed a lot that he had that to say about Marceau at that point. What else? He also mentioned Queen Sheba asked him at one point, do you feel that Trisha still loves you or still in love with you? And without hesitation, he said, yeah.
But he wouldn't get back with her, though, because she did. That was a follow-up part about, well, what if it's like 18 months from now? Ken's been removed for a year. She understands the error in her ways, and she wants to get back with you. He was like, no. But clearly, she been putting niggas before him, according to Marques. Their whole entire relationship. She stood him up on prom.
Right. But let's back up to the first question part, though. Do you feel that if now the fact that Ken is out of the picture, do you think she would try to go back to him?
Well, while he was sitting up there calling Ken an opportunist, I would think Trish is an opportunist as well. So she got on the show with Ken, then she got beefed up storyline with Martell. Now Marques is popping. He didn't, he out here he want to do business with Mel. It's an admiration. It's not a crush. He don't want to date her. He making a little name for himself. He got a platform. He got his Boys and Girls Club thing he's trying to do. Now she's like, okay. He out here trying to make some moves. You know what I'm saying? And she might be the opportunist in all actuality.
I mean, we'll see next season if, those tips that Kimmy gave her that day will be put to any use, because she should be about some type of business come this next season if she follows through. If she ain't, right? She should be. It would be a shame to come back next season. You ain't got no man or no come up.
Right. But if that's the case, then maybe her and Marques will try back dating again. But he said on the interview, hell no. But
hell no. I don't think I think he really mean that, because when she had also asked him something. Oh, when she was asking about how much Carlos pays, and he said, look, no amount of money Carlos or production could pay me for what I had to endure with all of this, and she also asked him about the fact, is there any way for therapy, or is there a doctor on set or whatever for people going through anything? And he shut that down. He was like, nope, no, there ain't. But
it should be.
And there should be. How y'all gonna get, y'all brought Dr. Francis on and all this other stuff. And I think that's why they left Dr. Francis alone, because I felt like Dr. Francis was like, y'all compromising my career, my integrity by having me on the show, doing all of this. Like, this ain't even helping. Y'all got me looking like a fool.
Right. And not only that, too. I mean, he did say he would be willing to go to therapy so that they could properly co-parent. But it's crazy to me that this show, Love and Marriage, and we all know it's ups and downs, and you within the marriage, ups and downs within the friendships, blah blah blah, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. So
how is it like? Okay, so I'm late to the stage with. I've been overwatching the show Genius, MLK, Malcolm X. It's on Amazon Prime, right? It came out last year, but I'm just now getting to it, and I didn't watch it like 37 times. But when you watch the interviews, they said because of all the things that were going on with this I'm sorry, take it back. It was Underground Railroad. They had people there because they were doing these traumatic experiences and reliving slavery and people getting whipped and hanged and burnt and all that stuff. And they had staff on set every day, whether you knew it or not. It just gave you a sense of peace. If I
Yeah.
have to step away from this scene because it's triggering me, there's somebody there to assist me in what I am going through. So I kind of feel like with all of this, he said, she said, going back and forth, it's one thing when it's in between your family or your friend circle, but millions of people are watching all of this he said, she said drama, and then they go to the internet and become computer thugs and they talk about it. Where is the help for that
Mm,
as well?
yes.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I feel the way that reality TV is now and how it looks like the direction that is continuing to go on, I feel that it should be like a labor law or mandatory in this field to have, someone there that can help you cope with shit. But see, the thing with OWN, or at least Carlos King and, Entertainment Reign, Carlos loves the drama. Carlos is a girl's girl. So he
right.
loves the drama. And I feel, maybe by not having someone to, keep them from going off the ledge or whatnot, it helps keep the drama going a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing the reenactments. We ain't got time for that, Phyllis family.
But I mean,
I know some of the actors.
I get what you're saying, but even if there was, like, I'm not saying there's a blow up all the time, but especially like for Mel dealing with the whole DUI situation, she could have went and talked to somebody on the sidelines instead of going to everybody. Well, my grandmother, my grandmother, my grandmother. Go talk to somebody about that. Maurice was not the person who hit your grandmother. He didn't
Right.
defend the person who hit your grandmother. So now you're charging a person with somebody else's crimes because they're in your circle and you need to deal with that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of all of this but she also said that production wanted her to say that as well. That was
Right.
a production thing. And I'm gonna need production to break down the fourth wall and chime in and be like, no, the fuck we did, or yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
fuck up, because they just blaming everything on production.
Yeah.
Just every single thing. And it's just like, well, at some point, you just can't take accountability for yourself. Okay, I'm trying to see, is there anything else that we didn't touch on
Okay. What
that he's talking
Kenny said?
about?
So I know some of
Went
the
through the
actors
whole-
were bothered. Then they said, I think the people's lives are getting a little too public for sure. And then everything about everyone is before everyone. Exactly. That's got to be a lot to deal with, because you know what? Everything that I go through every day, if every conversation that I have with my homegirls was dissected by millions of people who don't know our history or whatever, or just like, and a lot of people like say they just coming in on this season because the clips is out there. Like, you haven't started back at season 1, so you don't know how we got to where we are today and why I talked to somebody like this, or how I didn't like somebody in the beginning and now we back friends or we back cool. But they want to get on there with and be computer thugs, keyboard gangsters, and they don't even know half the story. And then you got to sit there and either turn your comments off, and then people got to complain about that. Or, I mean, how many of us would be in a position like on the cast members of Love and Mayor and would not read the comments?
Right. I know I wouldn't be able to, because I go off on all y'all bitches fucking with me, and I'm trying to entertain y'all. Fuck everybody. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Especially at least not on Huntsville. If I got to do it 1 millimeter.
Right.
One. I'm gonna be the biggest
Because if
lost
I
person
ain't
ever.
gonna lie, Stormy better than me. Because if I'm going to jail, I'm going to jail for a reason. It ain't gonna be no words. I'm putting hands on somebody. If I'm going to jail, somebody's getting these hands.
Oh shoot, I'm shoot. You know she wanted to, but she couldn't let Canvas Beauty go out like that. You know
I
that's
know
one
she
reason.
couldn't. I know she couldn't. That's why I could never be on none of these shows because I pull up and I have bail money on deck.
Facts. One thing for sure, he did make sure to give Mel a shout out. You
Yep.
know, whoop whoop. I guess that's the thing they got together. I don't know what's going on, but whoop whoop. He
Hey, let
already
me
got,
tell you something.
and
Mel
he
is
got Kenyan on
definitely.
his hat. He said he had admiration for her. It's not a thing, but all I do know is she ain't on next season. She definitely got a mouthpiece that just joined the show.
Well, here's the thing, and not only that, she's about to be on some other show, so I don't know what man she's on there that she was claiming she had that Martell don't know that they about to be on some relationship show, whatever that is, that she's about to be on
Mm-hmm.
next. But
Yeah.
here's the thing, regardless of how I feel about Mel, she's a smart businesswoman. I don't like the fact that she's manipulating and capitalizing off of women's pain because truth be told, if y'all hadn't had Love and Marriage Huntsville, nobody would know who you are and you would still be married to Martell and ain't no telling how many kids him and Ariane would have had.
Right.
So the only reason why you left that man was because once you got on the show and you got in the public eye and you realized that people were standing by you and supporting you and gave you somewhat of a voice, then you wanted to go ahead and be like, oh, I'm gonna stand out on my own now. So, but at the same time, that's what most other people do. They ride the wave, they come out and they play on people's emotions and traumas and triggers, and that's how big business is done.
Right.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is, period. Okay, I think we touched on everything that they had talked about.
Well,
Um,
let's ask the audience. Is there anybody in the audience that can remember anything from the interview if you watched it, that had questions, concerns, or comments on anything that we did not get to? Oh, wait, about what when she asked Marquez, was he out there cheating too?
Oh yeah, he kept it real. He said at some point this, that, and the third, and not to say the cliche, but all men cheat, and especially if you know your woman is out here doing her, you definitely gonna be doing who you gonna get your lick back, basically. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And so I don't even at this point, the way she set up, I don't even fault him for that because the beginning of your relationship, she late picking you up from work in your own car, but she trying to holler at your boy.
Girl, that was wild. That was
That is
wild.
wow. Like, and he always said like she always been loose, and he said, he he regrets the fact because she's always been loose, and he said he was maybe not in love with her, but he was very much in lust. He was trying to hit that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was trying to hit that. He kept that real, and that's very big of him to be able to. And then he said the best thing that he did was walking away from the marriage. And many people may think different about that. It depends on how you look at that. That's where he had brung in Marceau saying that's what Marceau, he ain't gonna leave just for the fact that he can say that he never left his marriage, never left his kids, or never allowed another man to come in
Right.
and raise his kids, whatever. But it does take a bigger man to be able to be like, I don't want my kids to see me going through this. I don't want my kids to grow up and see thousands of stories of me cheating on their mama and thousands of pictures of my back allegedly. All of that type of stuff
Well,
is just
and
unnecessary.
and here's the thing. I just kind of wish at the time he left, they could have better articulated and communicated their feelings with each other because it seems like to me he woke up out of the P energy phase right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he got a moment of clarity. You know what I'm saying? He was all in la la lust land, and she was popping it on the handstand, as Mia would
Right.
say, and everything was good. But sometimes sex, what's the word? Clouds our judgment, right? So when we're in the cloudy phase of I'm in la la land, honeymoon stage, everything is wonderful, this is that and the third, then you start having kids, sex goes down. You have that second kid, sex go down. Y'all both working mad crazy hours, sex goes down. Now you start to realize the only reason why I'm dealing with this person is because of the sex. But then you're not having sex anymore. So your cloudiness is becoming clear, and now you don't like the way they smack at breakfast. You mad because they didn't take the trash out that you asked them to the 17th time. You mad because they don't put on a belt with their jeans, or
And that was a good example because he did make that example. It's how you talk to him. He said, "Babe, about the whole trash thing. Like, yeah, you have to take trash, but how can you say it without emasculating me?" And all of that. That was the same exact example that
right.
he made
And
about the trash.
and I'm gonna tell you from personal experience with my ex-husband, I tried to be like, hey babe, you about to leave? Can you grab the trash on your way out? Blah blah blah, whatever. I might be in the room watching TV, about to take a nap, blah blah blah, whatever. He leave 3-4 hours later. I get up, go in the kitchen, trash still there. And every time I was nice about asking for whatever it was, take out the trash, mow the lawn, fix something in the house or whatever, it was he did it whenever he got good and ready, or I ended up doing it myself. But as soon as my exact words would be what Marques said, motherfucker, you see this trash sitting here. I didn't ask you 16 times to take the trash out. And it might be 2:00 in the morning. He'll get up and take the trash out. But why you couldn't take it at 6 when you was on your way out the door?
Right.
And honestly, I believe he liked being talked to that way, because I don't talk to other men that way. I only talk to him that way. And so I start off in the, hey baby, can you get around to, but after my 10th time is asking, motherfucker, bitch ass nigga, hoe ass motherfucker, all that's coming out. All of it.
Facts.
I don't know what your name is that day. You're gonna be everything but a child of God in your birth given name. Because I'm tired of asking.
Right. That's fair. In that situation, in that case in point.
But I totally understood his point, because it's we talk about that at work too. It's all about tone. You can take one sentence and say it 3 different ways, and it depending on the octave or body language, and it can mean 3 different things.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. All right. I think that wraps it up all the way up until next time. I will be coming on and talking about whatever Lexi is talking about. We'll just cover part 1 and 2 when she drops the second one. Mm-hmm. I think she might have dropped it, but I have not watched it yet. She dropped the trailer for sure. But when that drops, come on and do 1 and 2.
Well, the thing said CK. Who is CK?
Oh, Carlos King. Carlos King spoke on Keke's passing finally. Okay. So he did his Messy Monday or whatever, and he finally spoke on it. And I just wanted to say, even after he said what he said, because I know that we had talked about it on the live, even after what he said, it's still, all he did was give props to Stormy for doing what she did. Absolutely. But he still didn't mention the fact of, or why of, no one else helped. And he said that he felt it was necessary to bring it up at the reunion because why wouldn't they? But again, I say, but y'all didn't do no in love and memory after each episode from this last time. And he hints on again that he didn't even reach out to Tisha when it happened, but he said it was because he was giving her space. but he eventually did. And I think that was kind of,
You know,
I don't know.
let me tell you something. Now, I know, I'm getting up here in age, so I've got plenty of friends and family that have lost loved ones, right? And even though you want to give somebody your space, it takes 2 seconds to say, hey, I'm sending my condolences. I know you have a lot on your plate right now. I'm here for you. If you need anything, call me, text me,
Right.
let me know how I can help you.
Right. Because
And
maybe
that
like
puts the
he did.
ball, in their court to say, I'm good, we're good. If you want to send flowers or donate, you can send it to this funeral home or, GoFundMe, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Or, hey, I just really need somebody to talk to. Are you available now? Or, hey, I'll get back with you in a few days when things settle down. It's not like you're calling them 3, 5, 10 times a day. Why won't they pick up? I want to talk to them. I want to send my condolences. A simple text message, I'm here for you when you're ready to talk to me, is all it takes.
Mm-hmm. Or you could have called you. Did you not even try to call Miss Wanda? Like, you know her. She was on the show. Did you not try to reach out her husband? He was on the show. You know what I'm saying? There were so many people you could have reached out to. You didn't just have to just try to reach out to Tisha or not reach out to Tisha.
Because she's a main cast member. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is just weird to me. And I don't know if I'm just built differently about death, because I'm not so much sad, and I know this sounds crazy, that the person's passed away, because I feel like they're in a better place and the rest of us are in hell, actually. But I feel more sad and want to do things for the family members because they're the ones in pain, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm always the one sending the flowers, sending the text message, sending the virtual hug, whatever the case. It could be somebody I ain't spoke to in 10 years and I see it on Facebook. I will see. I'm not the person that, oh my God, we haven't seen each other in 10 years, but no, I just send them a private message, DM, text message, whatever, however I can reach them. Hey girl, I send them, blah, 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 whatever. Like,
yes.
I just don't understand.
Me neither.
Why it's like pulling teeth from a chicken to get production, the OWN network or any of these networks to show some compassion to somebody that's passed away that's made you money.
Exactly.
Weird.
That's what I'm saying. It just, I don't know. The way that would, like, it fell on deaf ears. I'm not even sure, but I would have felt disrespected. I would love to know what Keke's husband has to say about it all. Actually,
I can imagine there will come a time. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like a Carlos King sit down, like he's been.
I hope not. I hope not.
I could see another, like somebody who heavily, like Queen Sheba, maybe even Tasha K. Maybe he'll sit down with you. I don't know. But I do know that there will come a time where Keke's husband is going to speak. And I foresee it in the future. He's probably going to talk about how nobody did this, nobody did that. They show all this fake love on the show, but when it came down to the wire, Stormy was the one that came through, not Mel, who was happy to get her gossip out there through Keke. They was happy to spread each other's lies or stories or allegedlys or whatever. But in the midnight hour, all those people was nowhere to be found. And that Stormy and Keke had really just started fucking with each other heavy at the end of that, or in that season, right before she passed.
Yeah, exactly.
So that just goes to show you that somebody, your A1 day one, ain't gonna always be there until and someone you just met 2 days ago, compared to your A1 day one, is gonna do more for you than somebody you didn't know 20, 30, 40 years.
Absolutely.
Wild.
Absolutely.
Diabolical.
That is crazy. It is wild for that even to be a thing. But that is so true.
But that's the facts in this situation.
That's real.
If you take the fact that her and Tisha were sister cousins, and then all the seasons that she been on there running behind Mel, and then Stormy meets her and develops a relationship with her in one season or half a season before the break, what blah blah, blah whatever.
Yeah,
And she's here
exactly.
doing more. What does that say about a person's character?
It, that's why I'm just wondering, like, what? And I understand, and even on the reunion, Tisha's like, no one can tell me how to feel or anything. That was my cousin, that was my sister cousin, whatever, no matter what. We get that or whatever, but I just need her to understand what it looks like from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is the truth or not, we still want to make sure Keke, her name is being carried the right way, regardless.
Exactly. Because
And that's why I want her husband to speak out.
Because remember when it first came out and you asked me, did I want to speak on it? And I was like, no. Like I didn't know the situation, the actual details of how she passed, and I was like, I send my condolences to the family, but I don't, and not that we were speaking ill. I'm not trying to say that. I just don't like speaking on people who have passed. When I'm not sure. And it was so right then and there, especially in all the dramatics around her on the show. It didn't feel comfortable to me. So that's why I'm saying I think her husband eventually, when he's done grieving, in his own way, he's probably going to come out and talk about it.
I really hope he does, because I really wonder how everyone is, especially now that it's been some time. Like, how are the children? How is he? Everything, I just wonder. Well, I hope so, but I still feel that Carlos and Kingdom Reign Entertainment could have done more. Whether it had been, monetary or emotionally, whatever. I just felt like there could have been more, no matter what.
They do the Keke Memorial at the end of that season that she passed. Like in the beginning, like when they came back, why didn't they put all that collage together?
That's what I'm saying.
And they could have did a 20-minute, 10 or 15, whatever.
Exactly. There's mad footage out there. Mm-hmm. And if that was something that that Tisha had put together, you would think she would want to show her sister cousin, in the best light and bring that. That's why I don't understand, why didn't we see any of that? I just feel like a lot of that fell on deaf ears. And they could have done her so much better, because she enjoyed being on the show. She enjoyed the people. And, despite all the other bullshit and what she was going through herself, she did seem like a lovely person. If someone like Stormy can see the loveliness in her, and, I had her back when she first came on, she's been on this channel before, so all of that. So, yeah, I just wish her husband, children, and family the best. And I hope he does.
And I do the same. I feel the same.
I really do hope to speak out. But if anything in the future, like, come on, production, do a little bit better. Do a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Just
a whole lot.
Baby steps. But yeah, they do need to do a whole lot better. But can you at least try to do a little? And maybe it'll turn out to be a whole lot. You never know. But all right, y'all. That is going to do it for the Marques interview and Carlos King speaking on Keke Jabbar's passing. What we got going on? We will be back Monday. Well, we will be on Kamisha Reviews this weekend. Wait,
no,
did I have it already?
No, because they did Ready to Love last night. So yeah, and I had a military ball at the hotel, so I did not make it. So, but
you only had to put out a couple of people.
So I'm gonna watch it later on and see who went home, so I could be well versed for the next episode.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either.
But I do know. We'll be back on Monday. For baddies, and then I am glad that Love and Marriage is done, because that I will be out of the country next week, starting.
Whoop, whoop,
Actually, it's like 3.5 days by now. But anyways, yes.
Wells County. You
I'm
are
super excited for the birthday turn up. Curacao, big 50. So yeah. So yeah, I don't have anything going on next week except for baddies with you.
All right. Well, y'all know y'all can catch me every morning for Hey Boo Hey in the mornings before work. And Tuesdays you can catch me for Politics for Dummies and all of that good stuff. And we will catch y'all.
What time is Politics for Dummies?
At 10:15 on Tuesdays. Tuesday nights.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday nights.
I have to pop on that one of these days.
Yeah, girl, because you know Trump is trumping.
Girl, he's got so much content for you.
Yes, he does. Him and Elon just keep it coming.
The co-president.
Just keep it coming.
Elon is the co-president. So we have Donald Trump is the vice president, Elon is the co-president, and then whoever that person is the vice president.
Shoot, he might as well not be nothing. At this point, JD Vance, who is he?
Right.
Really, who is he?
Well, hell, I couldn't even remember his name. I thought that was him, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong. And then I really need to sign up for your Politics for Dummies class.
Girl, they doing too much in these streets.
It's too many of them up there at the podium for me to remember all their names. They acting like an episode of Baddies. 57 people at the podium running the country.
That's what I'm saying. And I swear to God, Elon's son, I don't name him Cody because of his name. But yeah, Elon's son, he need a place on the cabinet too, the way he is.
He's probably the vice president.
He needs to be the chairman, or he's the House Speaker.
Right. JD, right, because he's the House Speaker because he out there telling the truth, or the press secretary because he out there, that whoever that girl is that don't have no education and shouldn't even have the job. Yeah, he need to take her job.
Right, because I can't stand this new press secretary. I just want to squish her face every time I hear her voice. I want to squish it, and then I want to take her hair and wrap it around it so I don't got to see it. Ooh, that was a little extreme. Let me stop.
Right, let's not say that. You're going to end up on a no-fly zone in a minute.
Well, look, it's funny. It's funny. It's comedy. And shouldn't we be making comedy legal as far as Elon Musk is saying?
Well, yeah, because when they say it on Saturday Night Live, ain't nobody getting sued.
Right. So, hey, it's fair game, right? It's fair game. Because he was just on Twitter and called someone a full retard earlier today. Yes. He said, you are fully retarded. He told someone on Twitter today. Fully retarded. That's what he said. Yes. Yep.
I'm done. I'm dead and in the afterlife.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And so on that note,
we'll be talking about, and we'll be talking about that next Tuesday for Politics for Dummies. So I will see y'all cats and kittens later, and I will see y'all hopefully I'm not going to be doing it on weekends anymore. I need to take a break, but I will see y'all cats and kittens sometime Monday because I do not work Monday, so I ain't gonna be on that regular time. So I'll holler. Leave y'all with this message, and I'll see y'all cats and kittens on another time.
If you don't like this video, you a hoe. And your mama told me.